YouTube pipe community. Barley, malt, hops, and gunpowder coming to you. Doing a video entry for the BoonSki 2014 St. Patrick's Day Extravaganza. This is the artsy part. I was going to kind of do this themed to Danny Boy, but after writing down what I wrote, it made a lot of sense, so I will just slightly recite it. Oh, YouTube, you don't want to hear me sing, but if you will notice, I am wearing the green. So, that being said, I'm not going to get up, I'm not going to sing and dance. Little tripod issue there. But as you can see, I have my green on. Nice Celtic shamrock. And you can see part of this hat, so I'm going to see if we can tilt up. Perhaps. What could this hat be? And look at that. I've had this Guinness hat for approximately 4 years now. And it's my everyday St. Patrick's Day hat. Nice little internet find there. So, this was supposed to be a performance, and as I said, you really don't want to hear me sing. So, what I decided to do was to talk about Irish music. Of course, unless you're just totally oblivious to Irish music, everyone knows of the Clancy Brothers with Tommy Makem, the Dubliners, the Wolf Tones. Those are big names that are out there that people know. There was a duo of Clancy and Makem, which was Liam Clancy and Tommy Makem, after the Clancy Brothers kind of disbanded there for a while. The two of them got together and did a lot of songs. A lot of this stuff that I'm going to mention you can find on Spotify or on iTunes or Amazon. So that being said, I want to start getting into this a little bit deeper with perhaps some bands that you may not have heard of that you should definitely listen to. I know Sister Skipsy mentioned Pictus. They're a Scottish band, but I'll talk about them briefly, really quick. I got to see them for, I think it was their second or third ever performance as Pictus. They're a spin-off of another band called Mother Grove. Mother Grove is more of they call it kilt rock. The majority of their stuff is Scottish. They do have a couple of Irish flavor tunes in there. Some great bagpiping, some great penny whistle, vocals like you cannot believe. Their drummer from Mother Grove, I always said he reminds me of Garth from Wayne's World, but the dude can rock a drum kit. You can generally see them anywhere in the Indianapolis area. That's where they're from. I've been fortunate to see Mother Grove twice, well actually 3 times, and Pictus the one time. Mother Grove took their inspiration from a group called Seven Nations, up out of the New York area. Prolific set of albums there for that group. So you should really look into those two. If you listen to Mother Grove and like it, you should go listen to Seven Nations. If you know Seven Nations but don't know Mother Grove, then do it the other way. Okay, that being said, let's move on to the next band I want to talk about. It's really not a band, it's a group. I've never seen these people live. A few years ago, I decided as much as I like the traditional Irish drinking St. Patrick's Day stuff, I wanted something with a little bit more meaning. I wanted something that described a period of time in Ireland from the 1920s through the 1960s and 70s. The Wolf Tones have a lot of songs that do this, but one group that I found that I really enjoy is called the Divots. They have a triple CD set called 50 Irish Songs of Rebellion. Very good, very well done. They've got a couple other CDs as well. Spotify is probably the best place to go to listen to that. If you want to hear songs like Skibbereen, Men Behind the Wire, Rifles of the IRA, Broad Black Brimmer, things of those nature, that's who you want to listen to. Going from there, I stumbled across a group called Charlie and the Boys. Boys spelled B-H-O-Y-S. They are actually out of Glasgow, originally from Ireland. They went to Glasgow. Basically, they support the Glasgow Celtic football team. So they have some albums up on Spotify. It's probably about the best place to go for them as well. If you like a little bit more in your face Irish Songs of Rebellion, and you don't mind a few colorful lyrics here and there, they're a good listen. Not exactly punky, just really raw, hardcore, traditional, fast-tempoed, lots of IRA chants, so I guess it just really depends. Their version of Fields of Athenry, you do get the audience participation of filling in the Republican chants as they do the chorus, so if that's not your cup of tea, you probably don't want to listen to them, but I'd say, you know, give them a listen, but because they do a really good job. Let's see. The next band I want to discuss is called the Screaming Orphans. It's a group of Irish ladies. They write new music based on traditional Irish melodies and rhythm patterns. They call it proc. That stuff is good, but their traditional set, they have a CD called The Jacket's Green. I believe it's also on Spotify. I got it off of iTunes to purchase so I could put it on my MP3 player. But their harmonies with their vocals are phenomenal. They're great to see live, lots of energy. Their version, I mean, I can't even put it into words, but it is just phenomenal the way they perform. They have a version of I Will Walk 500 Miles, and you need to look that up on YouTube. The Screaming Orphans, I Will Walk 500 Miles, because they add a line or two in there, so to encourage your participation in the song and participation in just a wee bit of drinking. I don't want to spoil it for you. You just got to see it because it's hilarious the way they describe how they came up with this set of lyrics. And then every time you hear that song, you won't be able to help but insert those lyrics into the song. So this then brings me to a band, the Mickey Finns. Last year, Ray Kelly, vocalist, guitarist of the Mickey Finns, died in an accident at a job site. He worked construction, and they had just released their third album as the Mickey Finns. It was getting great reviews, being heralded as one of the best new Celtic, Irish, punkish albums to be released. Paddy Rock Radio gave it nothing but high praises. It's a great album. A lot of good songs on there. Some that I'd heard live before they were on CD. And the band, quite understandably, took considerable time off after Ray's passing. And they've gotten back together. They've done a few shows here and there. Supposed to be getting back out and touring. I can't wait to see these guys live again. There are 3 albums that are out right now. There is not a bad track one. On their newest one, Prayers and Idle Chatter, the song McGinnis's Mass is a very emotional song. And then after Ray's passing, I mean, it's hard to listen at that because you hear the lyrics. And if you ever met Ray, that song will hit a note with you. I got to be fortunate enough to see them play twice, actually 3 times. I got to meet and talk to Ray and share a drink with him the last time I did get to see them live, and can't wait to see them again. Before they were the Mickey Finns, there was a group called the Prodigals, which Brian, the drummer, was in the Prodigals, and Ray came in and took over on vocals and guitar at one point. From there they melded and changed their style ever so slightly, and then became the Mickey Finns. You got to check that band out. Phenomenal. The last band I'm going to talk about is a band that is quite different than most. I know Sister Skipsy said she liked the big drums, so this one's really going to be up her alley. The name of the band is Tuatha Dé. They have, I think, one of their albums on Spotify. Everything else you can get off Amazon. They're from the Gatlinburg area. They consider their music eclectic and worldy. They give songs what they call their Appalachian blues treatment to it. But basically, imagine Irish tunes, and not necessarily all Irish tunes, but they do a lot of Irish stuff, done with huge African drums, bongos, flutes, penny whistles, piccolos, didgeridoos, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, keyboard. The vocals are stellar. The 2 ladies who take most of the female vocals, when they get together and sing together, I mean, it will bring a tear to your eye on certain songs. Their version of Whiskey in the Jar is very, on the CD, it's kind of mellowish, but live, it is very Thin Lizzy type live Whiskey in the Jar. The emotion and the energy they put into performing is contagious. I mean, you're talking on stage, there are between 6 to 8 people performing. You have these 4 huge African drums that are every bit of 4.5 feet long, probably 3 feet in diameter, 2.5, 3 feet in diameter. I got to be on stage with them, and I got to play a large bass drum and basically count 1, 2, 3, 4, which was about all I'm good for because you can't carry a note in a bucket and my sense of rhythm, unless I'm extremely intoxicated, is not good at all. But being up here on that stage, I mean, the percussion, I thought being in front of the group was intense. The concussive forces coming from behind me from those huge drums, I mean, it was just amazing. I can't even put it into words. Just phenomenal. Tuatha Dea, or Tuatha Dei, depending on how you choose to pronounce it. Lots of pagan-themed songs in there. Some traditional Irish songs that have been done up. Some traditional Scottish songs that have been done up their way. Just really, their CDs are great. I have all three, downloaded them. Well, I bought one at the show and downloaded the other two off Amazon. I mean, it might not be for everybody, but it is awesome. A couple other bands I'd like to mention. Liam's Fancy. They're out of Lexington, Kentucky. They play up in Covington a lot at Molly Malone's. They play all over Lexington. They play in Eminence, Kentucky for the Celtic Festival and during the Ren Fair. Dan Cummins and Beverly Buchanan, occasionally John Skelton. There are other people that join them as well. You've got to go see them perform. Traditional Irish tunes, hornpipes, reels, jigs, drinking songs, whatever. Just all around really good stuff. And then I want to give an honorable mention to my buddies, Drunken Sailor. Mostly sea shanties, but some Irish drinking songs and some traditional Irish songs. So that's my list of the bands and groups that aren't the Clancy Brothers or the Dubliners or the Wolf Tones that I think if you're into Irish music you should take a look at. And since this is kind of the artsy part, and since I am big into Irish history, culture, music, all that good stuff, I don't know how I can get this on here so you can see it well. I don't know how that's going to come across. That's my, see, I gotta go that way, don't I? It's my Irish tattoo. Of course, we have our shamrock in the tricolor. Across the top, it states Erin Go Bragh, which is Ireland forever. And then down below is a set of lyrics from the song Boys of the Old Brigade. It's Agra Macree, which is Love of My Heart. And got my Celtic knots in gold and green around here. Eventually I'm going to get this arm filled in with more Irish stuff. This was a dream of mine for 10, 15 years. I had to change the design over and over again. Took it to a tattoo shop out here, a buddy of mine runs, and told him my idea. He sketched it up, and then when he came back after he had it sketched, it just looked so much better than I even imagined, and I was so excited to get it on there. So now, just a quick few other things. I'm running a little bit longer than I thought because I get talking about some of these bands and I just get carried away. I'm going to swip the camera around here so I can see. I'm going to show you, once the camera comes into focus, this is my Irish cabinet. Most of those bears in there are all St. Patrick's Day Beanie Babies from various years. Now, in particular, up front, mind the dust because this is the greatest curio cabinet. Come on. We have the I Love Ireland Beanie Baby, made in England, of all places. So, I had to get that one. That was a special eBay order. That's the teddy bear back there is wearing my son's bib from his first St. Patrick's Day. The bear came from Build-A-Bear Workshop years ago, probably 2002, 2003. There is a sleeve from a Peterson St. Patrick's Day pipe. That is the 2012 pipe. an Irish doll, some other bears, my St. Patrick's Day yard o' beer. The next shelf is drinking and smoking. There's an empty bottle of Jameson there. That was the first bottle of Jameson I ever bought. Some commemorative Steins and some commemorative Guinness glasses and various Peterson tobacco tins. The next aisle down, some more various things, some knives, some Zippo lighters, some Aramore tobacco, and this is just my Irish collection. It's a little bit lacking right now. It hasn't been updated in quite some time, but that's it. That's as creative and artsy as I get. So let's see. Let's swing us around here so I can see what I'm doing. So gotta wait for this camera to focus. It's crazy like that. Alright guys, I'm going to sign off. I ran a little bit longer than I anticipated. Happy St. Patrick's Day out there, YouTube. And a good one to you, Boontar and Skipsy. You guys have a good one. Talk to you later.